There is a 15-year window in your life that will determine whether you retire with freedom or retire with fear. Most people sail right through it without realizing what they had. That window is your 40s. And by the time you understand what went wrong, the math has already moved on without you. Here's why that should terrify you, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. People love to romanticize their 20s and 30s as the prime wealth building years. Hustle culture tells you to grind early, save early, invest early, and yes, starting young helps. But here is the reality nobody says out loud. In your 20s, you had energy and time, but your income was small and your financial literacy was even smaller. In your 30s, money started showing up, but so did mortgages, kids, car loans, and the kind of life expenses that eat a paycheck before it even lands. Your 40s are different. If you have been even slightly deliberate with your career, your income is now likely at or near its peak. The chaos of early adulthood has calmed down. The kids are more independent, and for the first time in your adult life, you have access to both capital and time in the same decade. That combination is extraordinarily rare. It shows up once, and it does not wait for you to be ready. Let me show you what I mean with actual numbers, because this is where it gets uncomfortable. If you begin putting away $500 every month at age 40, assuming an average annual return of 8%, by the time you reach 65, you will have accumulated roughly $475,000. Not bad for a consistent, modest contribution. Now shift the start date by just 5 years. Same $500 a month, same 8% return, but beginning at 45 instead of 40. Your total drops to approximately $295,000. That is nearly $180,000 that vanished. Not because of a market crash, not because of a bad stock pick, simply because 5 years of compounding were lost. That is the brutal arithmetic of delay. Albert Einstein reportedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether or not he actually said it, the math speaks for itself. Compound growth is not linear. It is exponential, and the back half of the curve is where all the real acceleration happens. The first 10 years feel slow. The next 10 feel like a freight train. But you only get the freight train if you showed up for the slow part. Every year you wait in your 40s, you are not just losing that year's contribution. You are losing every dollar that contribution would have generated for the next 2 decades. So if this decade holds so much financial power, why do most people arrive at 40 completely unprepared to use it? The answer is something you have probably never heard anyone warn you about. It is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the single most dangerous financial habit of middle age. Here is how it works. You get a raise, and within a few months, your expenses have quietly risen to match it. A better car, a bigger house, nicer vacations, private school tuition, upgraded subscriptions. Your income goes up, your lifestyle goes up, and your savings stay flat. Year after year after year. The worst part is that it feels like progress. You are earning more. You are living better. By every visible measure, things are improving. But underneath the surface, your actual net worth is barely moving. Psychologists have a name for this phenomenon. It is called hedonic adaptation. The more comfort you acquire, the more normal it feels, and the more you need just to maintain the same level of satisfaction. You are not getting wealthier. You are running faster on the same treadmill. And here is what makes this even more dangerous. Nobody around you will point it out. Your friends are doing the same thing. Your neighbors are doing the same thing. The entire culture around you is designed to normalize spending everything you earn. So it does not feel like a problem, it feels like life. And eventually, your entire life becomes structurally dependent on your paycheck. The mortgage requires it. The car payment requires it. The tuition requires it. The lifestyle requires it. If you stopped earning tomorrow, everything built on that income would begin to collapse within months. That is not financial success. That is a beautifully decorated trap. So what does it actually look like to use your 40s correctly? It starts with one question that changes everything, and it is not the question most people ask. Most people ask, how much do I earn? The question that actually matters is how much do I keep? And what is that money doing while I am asleep? Income is a paycheck. Assets are a workforce. Every dollar you redirect from consumption into investment becomes a unit of labor working for you around the clock. Index funds, dividend-paying portfolios, real estate, high-yield savings accounts, these are not abstract financial concepts. They are employees on your balance sheet that never take a day off. This is where knowing your FI number becomes critical. FI stands for financial independence, and your FI number is the total amount of invested assets you need to live entirely off the returns without ever touching the principal. The most commonly referenced framework is the 4% rule. If you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually and it covers your living expenses, you are financially independent. So if your annual expenses are $50,000, your FI number is $1.25 million. If your expenses are $80,000, your number is $2 million. These figures sound massive at first, but here is what changes when you know your number. You now have a target, and targets reshape behavior in ways that vague intentions never do. Without a number, you are just saving whatever is left over after bills. With a number, every financial decision gets measured against the finish line. Now let me walk you through 4 specific decisions that separate people who build wealth in their 40s from people who just maintain an appearance of it. The first is how you treat your home equity. A lot of people in their 40s are sitting on significant equity in their homes. The temptation is to refinance, pull cash out, and spend it on renovations or lifestyle upgrades. It feels financially savvy because the house looks better and the interest rate is low. But what you have actually done is convert an asset into an expense. The alternative is to view that equity as deployable capital and redirect it into income-generating investments. One choice makes the trap more comfortable, the other builds the way out. The second decision is your retirement account strategy. If you are in your 40s and only contributing enough to your retirement plan to capture the employer match, you are leaving enormous growth on the table. Maxing out contributions every year creates a compounding engine that accelerates dramatically over a 15 to 20-year horizon. And once you cross 50, there are additional catch-up contribution allowances that most people never even learn about. These are extra thousands per year in tax-advantaged growth that the system literally designed for people in this exact stage of life. The third decision is income diversification. Relying on a single paycheck is structurally fragile. One layoff, one health crisis, one corporate restructuring, and your entire financial plan evaporates overnight. While your primary career is still strong, your 40s are the ideal time to build a second income stream. Dividend-paying index funds that generate quarterly cash flow, a modest rental property, a side business aligned with a skill you already have. None of these need to be dramatic, they just need to exist. Because redundancy is what turns a financial plan into a financial fortress. The fourth decision is the hardest one, and it is about social spending. Your 40s come with social pressure that your 20s never had. The destination birthday trips, the luxury family vacations, the home upgrades that everyone in your circle seems to be making. Saying no to these things quietly and consistently is one of the most powerful financial moves available to you. Nobody broadcasts their investment portfolio on social media. They broadcast the resort in Mexico. And the pressure to match what you see rather than what you need is relentless. The people who build real wealth in their 40s are the ones who learn to decline gracefully and often. Here is what I want you to understand about all of this. None of these decisions require a massive salary. None of them require luck or inheritance or a winning stock tip. They require clarity about what you are building, consistency in how you build it, and the willingness to choose your future self over your present comfort. Your 40s are not a midlife crisis. They are a launch pad. The compound interest curve is still in your favor. The income is there. The window is open. But it will not stay open forever, and the cost of waiting is not measured in months. It is measured in hundreds of thousands of dollars that will simply never exist. You are watching this right now, and that already puts you ahead of most people. Most people never stop to ask these questions. Most people never do the math. The fact that you are here, thinking about this, means you have already made the first decision in the right direction. Most people will scroll past this and go back to spending. Most people will nod along and change nothing. You do not have to be most people. The 40s are not the beginning of decline. They are the beginning of the most consequential financial chapter you will ever live through. And the best part is, you still get to write it. Now make the next decision. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe to the channel. Every week we break down the financial concepts that actually matter in a way that is clear, practical, and built to stick. No fluff, no hype, just the real strategies that move the needle. Hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.